he taking my son to a prison to meet his grandfather.
R. Kelly's daughter is finally sharing her story, and she has a lot to say about what life has been like having R. Kelly as a father in addition to the things he did to her. It turns out that being family didn't protect her from being one of his victims. But what exactly happened to her? And what does she have to say about it? For the first time ever, R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, aka Joann Kelly, is speaking out about the alleged harm that she suffered at the hands of her father. She did this in the docuseries R. Kelly's Karma, A Daughter's Journey, which premiered not too long ago. According to her, R. Kelly had harmed her when she was a child. And no matter how hard she tried to pretend like it didn't happen, it did. And she couldn't run away from that fact or gather the courage to tell anyone about it. It wasn't until she turned 10 years old that she dared to speak up about what R. Kelly had done to her. The first person she told about this was her mother, Andrea, as people reported. By telling Andrea everything, she was finally able to escape from R. Kelly and all that he had been doing to her. According to her, the harm started when she was about 8 or 9 years old. She remembers waking up to her father touching her inappropriately, and she couldn't do anything to defend herself. She was scared and didn't want to get hurt. So she just laid there and let him do all the things he wanted to do to her. When she told Andrea about everything that had happened, Andrea stopped her and her siblings from ever staying at R. Kelly's place again. Eventually, they also filed a police report against him, but they didn't use her name. The report was filed under Jane Doe. Sadly, this didn't go anywhere, and R. Kelly didn't get the punishment he deserved for what he did to her because she had waited too long to make an official complaint. Still, that didn't stop Boo from telling her story now. As you can expect, R. Kelly has denied every single accusation she made against him through his attorney, Jennifer Bongine. He said that the filmmakers didn't reach out to him to allow him to deny the hurtful claims before releasing them. This didn't come as a surprise to most people. R. Kelly has denied most of the allegations that have been brought against him, including the ones he was literally caught doing. The accusations against R. Kelly date back to 1994. This was the year he married Aaliyah in a secret ceremony in Chicago when he was 27 and she was just 15 years old. Meanwhile, their marriage certificate claimed that she was 18. Apparently, R. Kelly had bribed a government worker to get her a fake ID so that he could marry her. Although their marriage was annulled when Aaliyah's real age was discovered, that still didn't change the fact that R. Kelly had gone to great lengths just to marry a minor. Between what he had to do to get Aaliyah to marry him actually marrying her, and the things he did to her, it's hard to say which is more disturbing. And the craziest part is that this wasn't the first time he did something like this. In 1996, Tiffany Hawkins sued R. Kelly for all the horrible things she went through during their 3-year relationship. According to the court documents, she and R. Kelly started being intimate with each other when she was just 15 years old and he was 24. Although they broke up when she turned 18, the damage had already been done. When the lawsuit was filed in 1996, Tiffany was seeking $10 million in damages. But when the case was settled 2 years later, all she received was $250,000. R. Kelly's spokeswoman at the time claimed that R. Kelly didn't know anything about the accusations, but they still went ahead to settle it. This said something about R. Kelly, but unfortunately, it took the rest of us too long to realize what. 2 years after this, R. Kelly got sued once again. This time around, it was by his intern, Tracy Sampson. She sued him for having an indecent relationship with her when she was 17 years old. According to her, he controlled every aspect of her life, including the people she saw and the places that she went. Just like before, he decided to settle, but the amount he gave Tracy was never disclosed to the public. Even if you decided to give R. Kelly the benefit of the doubt and say that the first 3 incidents he was involved in were all coincidences, which they weren't, by the time the 4th accusation came around, it became clear that there was something much bigger going on. In April 2002, R. Kelly was sued by a woman named Patrice Jones, who claimed that he had gotten her pregnant when she was a teenager and then forced her to get rid of the baby. Around the same time, another woman named Montina Woods also sued R. Kelly, claiming that he had recorded them when they were intimate without her knowledge and then circulated the footage. Just like before, R. Kelly settled with both of these women out of court with an undisclosed amount in exchange for NDAs from both of them. But this was when everything started to go downhill really fast for him. Fast forward to June 2002, R. Kelly was charged with 21 counts of making child sexual assault videos. Chicago police accused him of participating in inappropriate activities with a minor and recording them. But somehow, even with all of the evidence the police had, they still weren't able to put R. Kelly behind bars. According to the jury, there was no way for them to tell if the girl in the video was actually a minor, and that was all it took for R. Kelly to walk away scotch-free. In the years that followed this, more and more accusations against R. Kelly kept popping up. The accusations were crazy, from sexual assault to holding people against their will to forming a cult and much more. It seemed like R. Kelly just couldn't stop himself. And for the most part, he was able to escape from most of the accusations, either because of insufficient evidence or his money. But then, a documentary about surviving him was released, and that was all it took to start the campaign that eventually brought most of his victims justice. The Lifetime documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, gave the most comprehensive look into the type of person he really was. It took a while to finally catch him in the act and put together a case that no court would be able to toss out. But 3 years later, R. Kelly was finally sentenced to 30 years in prison for committing sexual assault against children and women. Now, 2 years after this, his daughter has finally spoken out about her experience with him, which just confirms how much of a monster he really is. But despite all this, he still claims that he's innocent, which is just crazy. But anyway, what do you guys think? Are you shocked that he's still denying everything? Let me know in the comments below.